here is going to be about proving. Okay, proving. So I'm going to do proving first today. So for the proving, we are going to look at, okay, for proving, we are going to look at this ones here. Yep, proving. SPM cancel or not? No, SPM is not cancel. You don't tak dengar ke SPM telah ditunda. SPM 2020 sekarang sudah jadi SPM 2021. Okay? Delay only, betul. Delay only, not cancel. So tolong belajar. They cannot cancel SPM. Mati-mati pun you have to carry on because you know why? It is, yeah, it's postponed. It is an important exam because SPM is the one that you need to go through before you go to university. Yeah, okay, all right. So please understand, you need to make sure that you need to make sure that you study properly, okay? Because otherwise you will not be prepared for your exam on time, okay? You will not be prepared for your exam on time. Okay, anyway, for the proving identities, okay, siapa lah mangkuk ni? Okay, all right. Now let's carry on. So as far as proving identities, the formula semua dekat bawah here. Okay, I've given you the formula list. Sila rujuk to the formula list. So you've got your basic identity ataupun in BM dipanggil identity asas. Compound angle formula ialah gubahan. Okay, double angle formula. Okay, double angle formula and then half angle formula. So we are going to look at this formula one by one and do proving, okay? So I won't spend so much time on proving because proving is part of your exam, yes, but it's a small part. So once I finish this, next week I'm going to do with you all the SOCATOA, okay, and also the ASTC. All right, so let's get started. Let's start dengan yang first one, okay, number one. All right, so for the first one here, okay, what we are going to look at is we are going to look at proving your identity. Okay, so maksudnya yang pertama, yang ni lah membuktikan. Now I'll teach you a few basic techniques for proving. Because sebenarnya proving tak susah. But I must advise you one thing. In your buku teks atau buku rujukan, sometimes dia bagi soalan yang melampau. What do I mean by melampau? Maksudnya soalan-soalan di mana the working is very, very long. Bagi mereka yang dah belajar this part in school, you may encounter that. Working dia terlampau panjang, not practical. In your exam, the working is not very long. Okay, in your textbook, they give you long working because it's textbook practice question only. But actual exam questions are short. Okay, they are very, very short, pendek. So what we do now is when we do proving, maksudnya what they give you lah di sini ya. Sebelah kiri ialah soalan, question. Sebelah kanan ialah answer, jawapan dia. Maksudnya you kena gerak dari soalan dan dapatkan jawapan. Once you dapat jawapan yang dikehendaki, maksudnya terbukti, is proven. Okay, so please understand, I will teach you a few basic steps. Okay, so you start dari sebelah kiri, cos square theta over 1 minus sin theta. And then sama dengan. Okay, now what you have to do is this. Number one, nampak formula ada banyak. Okay, there are plenty of formulas. But you must understand one thing. Of all the formula, there's actually a sequence. There is actually a sequence. K-bar question, no. Proving question normally very straightforward. Okay, proving question normally very straightforward. So don't worry about that being K-bar first. Okay, what you have to understand is how to do basic proving. Okay, so I'm going to teach you some basic techniques to do proving. Sebenarnya proving tak susah. Okay, tak susah. I know some of you have already learned proving and you're already asking me personally how to solve this, how to solve that. Yeah, okay. So beginilah. When you do proving, number one, you must always start with your basic identity. Okay, mula dengan basic identity. So if you look at the formula list I've given you, ada 3 basic identity. Okay, so the first basic identity, number one ialah sin square theta plus cos square theta equal to 1. Yang itu identity yang pertama. The second identity here that you have is secant square theta equal to 1 plus tangent square theta. Okay, that's your second identity. And the third identity ialah cosec square theta equal to 1 plus cot square theta. Identity yang ni orang tak payah hafal because bagi SPM the formula dia bagi. Dia bagi the formula. So what you have to do is you kena start dengan basic identity. So when you start dengan basic identity, most of the time, the proving question is using basic identity. So there'll be something here. Tetapi selain from your basic identity, there are other things which you need to know and it will not be given to you. Okay, so what do you need to know? Okay, these are need to know. Perlu tahu. Perlu tahu maksudnya yang ini ialah sebahagian formula yang tidak diberi. Siapa ni dot dot dot? I'm not going to put this word in. Okay, please make sure that you use your real name. Okay, there's somebody here dia punya nama dot dot dot. Entah siapa. Okay, all right. As I said, this is to ensure everybody's safety. Tolong pakai nama sebenar. Use your real name. Okay, now, what do you need to know? Number one, okay, you already know that there's sine, there's cos, and there's tangent. Okay, other sine, other cos, other tangent. Okay, so what we are going to do now here is we are going to know other things as well. So contohnya, we have got second. Why some of you are still messaging me? Okay, all right. Some are still coming in. Okay, so now number one, you have to know other things as well. Contohnya, you have got second theta. Second theta is equal to 1 over cos theta. Okay, and then you have got cosecant theta. Cosecant theta is 1 over sine theta. And then ketiga, you have cot. Cot theta sama dengan 1 over tangent theta. Okay, this one when I say need to know, maksudnya kena hafal. You have to memorize. Okay, kena hafal. Sebab tiga formula ni dia tak bagi. Okay, now how to remember is very simple. Okay, now to remember, I'll tell students to refer to the huruf. Nampak tak? This one here, kita lihat huruf yang ketiga. Huruf yang ketiga, the third letter. So SEC, C, that means cos. Cosec, third letter ialah S. Yang ni pun S. So sine. Cot, the third letter ialah T. So tangent. Boleh faham? Okay. It's very easy to remember. Just remember the third letter, huruf yang ketiga. So second, SEC, third letter ialah C. So C ialah cos. Cosec, third letter ialah S. Jadi sine. So 1 over sine. Cot, third letter is T. So tangent. So 1 over tangent. Boleh faham? Okay. Now, other things which you need to know is this. Okay. Tangent sama dengan sine over cos, and then tangent is also equal to 1 over cot. Wait, hang on, it's already there. So therefore, cot theta equal to cos theta over sine theta. Okay, these last two pun you have to know. Tangent ialah sine divided by cos. Cot terbalik, cos over sine. Why? Because tangent and cot is the reverse, opposite of each other. Disebabkan cot sama dengan 1 over tangent. Okay, so please copy this somewhere for you to use. You have to use this. This one here is not given. Okay, so everything that you see here is need to know. Why do I say need to know? Because everything here is not given. Dia tak bagi. So this is not given in your exam. Okay, dia tak bagi in the exam. So you have to know how to use it. Hang on, I got problem. Why? Sekejap lah. Why they never send to KD? Hang on lah. Sekejap. The staff never sent to the KD students. Anybody from KD? Okay. Cosec means what? Okay. Somebody asked me here. Apakah maksud cosec? Cosec maksudnya 1. 1 over sine. That's all. Later when you go to university, you akan belajar graph yang lebih. You will learn other graphs as well. Okay, you will learn graphs about secant, cosecant, and cot. But right now for SPM, you only learn the sine graph, cos graph, and tangent graph. The secant graph and cosec and the cot you can learn later. Okay, so right now just understand that you need to know that cosec is 1 over sine. Maksudnya cosec ialah 1 per sine, secant ialah 1 per cos, and cot ialah 1 per tangent. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Let me just let the KD students see. I think the staff didn't tell them the ID and the thing, so that's why now only they're coming in. Okay, some of the KD students. Okay. All right. Boleh faham? Okay, so now let's come back to this question. Okay, so when we do proving, right, please understand that when you do proving, number one, pertama sekali, you always need to start dengan basic identity. So when you start dengan basic identity maksudnya, okay, when you start dengan basic identity, nampak tak yang ni on top here, we see there's a cos square. Okay, we see there's a cos square. But because there's a cos square, okay, there's a cos square, what you have to understand is that we have to arrange the formula. So formula yang dia bagi di sini ialah sin square plus cos square. Tapi sebenarnya what I have to understand also is that this formula can be arranged. So I'm going to push this down. Why? Because formula yang ni sebenarnya I can also make it become contohnya sin square equal to 1 minus cos square. I can also say that cos square equal to 1 minus sin square. Boleh faham? Okay, so we have got that one formula, but the red one and the blue one you have to get by yourself, depending on the usage. Boleh faham tak? Mengikut keperluan formula. So it depends on the question. Okay, so sin square plus cos square equal to 1. That is given. Yang warna hitam tu dibagi. The red one and the blue one you kena susun by yourself. Okay, pelajar perlu susun dengan sendiri. That is what you need to know how to do. Okay, all right. So now moving on. So from here, nampak tak? I can replace. So first, the bottom is no change. Yang bawah masih lagi 1 minus sin theta. Yang atas ni, the cos square, we replace. So cos square ganti dengan 1 minus sin square theta. Okay, using the formula. So I ganti. Okay, I replace that. Okay, so I get 1 minus sin square theta. Boleh faham? Okay, now other things, you see when I say technique to do proving, right? You have to go back to formula yang you dah belajar. Do you all remember that you have learned this formula? X square minus y square equal to x plus y, one bracket, and the other one ialah x minus y, dua kurungan. Okay, when you have got square minus square. Okay, so why do we need to understand this? Because when you look at the question here, nampak tak yang ni 1 minus sin square. Do you realize the 1 is actually 1 square? 1 square is 1. Belakang dia sin square. So we have 1 square minus sin square. Maksudnya we can apply this formula and you can do the pemfakturan. So when you do the pemfakturan, the bawah sama 1 minus sin theta. Yang atas ini you akan dapat 2 bracket. Okay, sebelah kiri 1. Okay, sebelah kanan sin square kan? So sin square becomes sin theta dan yang ni pun sin theta. The difference is that one bracket must be a plus and one bracket must be a minus. Okay, one bracket is a plus, one bracket is a minus, because this one here you're using this formula yang ni, pemfakturan. Okay, factorizing. So one bracket, 2 brackets. Once you've got your 2 brackets, bila dah dapat 2 brackets, now what you can do is you can see now here, yang ni boleh potong, yang ni boleh potong. So kalau dah potong, that means now your answer equal to 1 plus sin theta, and that's it. That's your answer. Because jawapan yang dia nak ialah 1 plus sin theta. So this is the same as this. Okay, this is proving. Okay, this is proving. All right, inilah yang dimaksudkan dengan proving. Okay, all right. Now let me just check in with you guys here. Okay, the KD students, are you guys here? Because I think the staff didn't send to you all the things so early. Entah kenapa later, I'll need to be seeing them. Okay, all right. KD students are here. Okay, all right. Kenapa diorang tak send you the password and the ID ke? I sent.
No, they didn't.
Tadi tak hantar.
Okay, never mind. I think that nasib baik Joel text me because he has my number, so he texted me. Okay, texted me. Okay, so those of you who just came in, just try and follow along. As I said, today we are going to do proving proving, membuktikan trigo. Okay. Now, yes, I will show you how to do. So tadi, just one example. I know Adlina says that you think you missed a step. Okay, don't worry. I'll go through again. There are many questions here. I'll go through one by one. I'll go slow because I need to teach you the technique how to answer the question. Once you understand the technique, it becomes very, very simple. Okay, all right. So let's carry on. Okay, so just now it's just contoh. Okay, so I repeat. Pertama sekali, before you do proving, please understand when you do trigonometry, the one in the box here, you need to know. Okay, you need to know. So I repeat, bagi mereka yang masuk lambat, secant theta sama dengan 1 over cos, cosec is 1 over sine, cot is 1 over tangent. How to remember? Very simple. Take the third letter, huruf ketiga, this letter ialah C, jadi cos. Huruf ketiga ialah S, jadi sine. Huruf ketiga ialah T, jadi ialah tangent. Faham tak? Semuanya 1 over, 1 over, 1 over. Please also remember tangent equal to sine over cos and cot equal to cos over sine. This formula in the box will not be given to you. You need to memorize. Okay? And also you notice when you do proving, it is very, very useful for you to remember this formula. X squared minus y squared equal to x plus y, x minus y. Okay? This formula you all learn sejak form 3 lagi. Okay? X squared minus y squared. Okay? So that is how we do this question. Okay, now this one here I'm going to tinggalkan. Don't worry, I'll come back to this later. Now the formula that we are going to look at is basic identity. The majority of your proving question involves basic identity. The basic identity formula tak payah hafal. But the one in blue and the one in red here, this one here, the one in red and the one in blue, we get by rearranging the first equation. Okay, that one you have to arrange. Okay, now somebody asked me, how do I know start on the left or start on the right? I would say 80% to 90% of the time, you start dari sebelah kiri. Okay, sebenarnya dari kanan ke kiri pun boleh. You start from the left, you go to the right. You know why? Not because the left side is normally bigger. When you do proving, the right side is smaller. That means you want to make something big become small. It is easier to make big become small. That's why you always start from your left-hand side. 80% to 90% of the time is always dari sebelah kiri ialah soalan, sebelah kanan ialah jawapan. Jarang sekali ialah dari kanan ke kiri. Sebenarnya kanan ke kiri, right to left pun boleh, but it's more complex. It requires more imagination. Understand this? Okay. All right. Now, let's look at the next one. Okay. Here. Question number 1. Okay. So for this question here, dibagi 1 minus tangent square over 1 plus tangent square. Okay. Now, what you have to understand is that we need to see sebelah kanan dengan sebelah kiri. So, yang sebelah kiri, left hand side, this will be the question and this will be the answer. So, maksudnya kita mula dari sebelah kiri. Bila kita mula dari sebelah kiri, starting from your left hand side. So, here I'm going to write 1 minus tangent square theta, bawah dia 1 plus tangent square theta. And then sama dengan, okay? Now, the hint, sometimes the hint is sebelah kanan in the answer. So, if you look at the answer, nampak tak? Jawapan dia ialah sine square. Jawapan dia ialah cos square. Tapi soalan dia bermula dengan tangent. That means, right, we need to make the tangent and change it become cos and become sine. Boleh faham tak? Nak tukar. So what you do is you scan through your formula. That's why they bagi formula. So if I scan through the formula, look at your basic identity formula. Nampak tak? Formula number 2. Do you see that? Do you see in the formula number 2, there is a 1 plus tangent square theta. So dia padan. It matches your question. Because the question dekat bawah, there is a 1 plus tangent square. So dia padan. I change it first. Okay? I'll explain to you why we change it. Because again, jawapan yang dia nak ialah cos dengan sine. Tapi soalan dia lah tangent, which means you have to change it along the way. So number 1, I see second square, kita boleh ganti because 1 plus tangent square boleh ganti dengan second square. So maksudnya now, here, yang atas tak berubah, 1 minus tangent square theta, bawah dia second square theta. Okay, ganti dengan menggunakan formula yang kedua, yang ni. Second square equal to 1 plus tangent square. Boleh faham? Okay, that's number 1. Okay, number 2. Now, apart from using formula yang begini, x square minus y square sama dengan 2 kurungan, you must also understand that simple technique of solving ialah, nampak tak yang ni you have got pecahan? If this is a single fraction, maksudnya yang ini ialah pecahan tunggal. Understand? Single fraction, one fraction. What you can do is you can separate. Boleh faham? Separate, pecah jadi dua. So, you nampak satu pecahan tunggal, you pecahkan jadi dua. When I pecahkan jadi dua, maksudnya, this one becomes, okay, this one becomes 1 over secant square theta minus tangent square theta over secant square theta. Boleh faham? Pecah dua. This is simple technique. Okay, so again I repeat, when you nampak pecahan, kalau dua pecahan, you combine. If one fraction, you pecah dua. Understand this? Okay, that's it. So one fraction, pecah dua. Two fraction, you can combine. Boleh faham? Okay, later you will see how we combine some of the fraction. So right now, this one you pecah dua. Okay, you pecah dua, that means you get one is on this side and one more on this side. Okay, now all the while, don't forget, jawapan yang dia nak, the question, the answer they want contains cos and contains sine. So which means right now I got to think, how am I going to change that? Okay, is there a way to make secant become cos? So using the formula that you're supposed to memorize, nampak tak? Secant is equal to 1 over cos. Okay, secant is equal to 1 over cos. All right. The denominator for both is the same. No, because here when you separate, denominator becomes same. Okay, when you pecahkan, denominator dia sama. Okay, so now here nampak tak? Secant become 1 over cos. So I change it. Okay, so nampak? Okay, now again, for those yang confused, because when you pecah dua, of course denominator dia kena sama kan, dia punya penyebut. So one on the left, one on the right, because you just pecah dua. Separate into two. Okay, so now, this one I continue. This one becomes 1 over, now remember, secant is 1 over cos. So secant square will then become 1 over cos square. Okay? Because secant is 1 over cos. So secant square is 1 over cos square. And then tolak. Okay, so what about the other one? Well, the other one also we are going to change. So what happened now is I draw the fraction line first, okay? Now remember from this formula here, apart from that, you also should know that tangent, nampak tak? Tangent is equal to sine over cos. Kalau tangent equal to sine over cos, maksudnya tangent square becomes sine square over cos square. Boleh faham? Okay, tangent square equal to sine square over cos square. So we change that. Okay, so now yang ni on top here we change it. So this becomes sine square over cos square. Yang dekat bawah is secant square. You already know secant square become 1 over cos square theta. Boleh faham? Okay, now we proceed. Nampak tak why we are doing this? Because the answer, jawapan yang dia nak contains cos and sine. So we just tukar. Whatever yang boleh tukar jadi cos dengan sine, kita tukar. So secant square become 1 over cos square. Okay, tangent square becomes sine square over cos square. Okay, so now once you have done that, okay, so this part here sebenarnya kita boleh potong. Okay, kita boleh potong. Okay, now if you're wondering kenapa kita boleh potong, I'll give you a simple explanation. See, di sini sebenarnya this is just like sine square theta divide by cos square theta bahagi dengan 1 over cos square theta, correct? Dia pecahan. So fraction divide by fraction. When it is fraction divide by fraction, in your form 1 or maybe form 2 or some of you in primary, you have learned that this one here becomes terbalik over cos square and then multiply cos square over 1, correct? So because of that, yang ini kita boleh potong. So we do not need to show how we terbalikkan. We can straight potong. So that's why potong. Yang ini cos square, yang ini cos square. Dah potong. Okay, so when you potong, apa yang tinggal di sini, this part here will become ni tolak, and then your balance here ialah sine square. Okay, yang sebelah sini pula, this one here, on this side here, this part here, okay, this is just like 1 divide by 1 over cos square theta. So if 1 divide, that means when you change it, it becomes 1 times cos square over 1. So the 1 and 1 dah hilang, that means on the left-hand side now, you will then get cos square theta. And that's your answer. Nampak? That's your answer. Okay, so the one in the green and the one in the yellow, I do not need to show because you are supposed to understand that. So I just potong. For yang warna hijau tu, the cos square dengan cos square potong. The yellow color one, I just terbalikkan. So divide, pecahan kan. So pecahan tu diterbalikkan, disongsangkan, inverted. So that's why you get cos square minus sine square. Okay, that's why you get cos square minus sine square. Okay, all right. So do you guys understand how to do that part?
Yes.
Boleh ya? Okay, so that one is just pecahan diterbalikkan. So again, let me remind you again. One very important technique when you do proving, when you have one fraction, kalau satu pecahan, you pecah dua. Separate become two. If they give you two fractions, you have to combine. Okay, you have to combine. These are simple techniques which you need to know. But textbook, revision book never tell you. They just show you, you do this, you do this, you do this. But students don't know why. Okay, students don't know why. So now I'm telling you, remember this, pecahan satu become two. If two fraction combine become one. All right. So now I'm going to continue. Okay, I'm going to continue. So now here, as you can see, it teaches you, or rather the question here is to teach you what to do when you have fraction. Apa yang nak buat kalau ada pecahan. Okay. All right. Next question. Okay, let's sambung pula. Next one. The next one is this one. Okay, I'll do one by one. Don't worry, I'll do one by one. Okay, I'll do one by one. Okay, so the next one we have is this. Okay, second square plus cosec square equal to second square cosec square. It looks like the soalan dengan jawapan sama, except there's one big difference. There's a plus here. Okay, whereas the answer got no plus. Okay, does that mean you are just going to cancel this out and say, oh, there, question, answer, finish? Not so simple, right? Okay, not so simple. Okay, so instead what we are going to do here is, okay, usually as I said, most of your questions, kebanyakan soalan mula dari sebelah kiri. Kalau kita start dari sebelah kiri, maksudnya now on the left hand side, we have second square theta plus cosec square theta equal to. Okay, so how do I do this? Okay, pertama sekali, what do I know? Okay, so because the soalan dengan jawapan nampak sama, mirip, kecuali except for there's a plus symbol here, which means I must do something with it. Okay, I must do something with it. So what am I going to do? Okay, so I ask myself this question. What do I know about second? What is second? Okay, this is part of the formula where you have to hafal. So going back to what I told you, remember second is equal to 1 over cos. Cosecond is 1 over sine. So we change, okay, we tukar. Setiap satu tu ditukar. Second tukar become 1 over cos and cosec become 1 over sine. Boleh faham? Okay, pakai the formula dan tukar. So now when we tukar, okay, second square, disebabkan yang ni second square, so you will get 1 over, let me use the black color. You akan dapat 1 over, this is cos square theta. Boleh faham? Remember, huruf yang ketiga. The third letter here ialah C. C ialah cos. Jadi 1 over cos. So because second dia got square, so the cos also will have square. Okay? And then continue. Tambah dengan cosec, ganti pakai formula, become 1 over sine square theta. Boleh faham? Okay, ganti ya. So nampak tak? Now we have two fraction. I told you, kalau satu pecahan, you pecah dua. If you got two pecahan, you gabungkan. Okay, you gabungkan. So how do I gabungkan? When you gabungkan, you cannot say, oh, 1 tambah 1, 2, and then this one here is cos square theta tambah dengan sin square theta. Salah. You cannot gabungkan like this. Boleh faham tak? Gabungkan maksudnya, you have to use back whatever you have learned since your primary. Okay, now what do I mean? Do you remember or not? Contohnya, if I give you 1 per 2 tambah dengan 1 per 3. How do you tambah? 1 over 2 and 1 over 3. Of course, you don't say 1 plus 1 and 2 plus 3 kan? Do you remember that to tambah this pecahan, yang ni you must times 2, yang ni times 2, yang ni times 3, dan yang ni pun times 3? Okay? So you have to multiply up and down. So maksudnya here, for this question here, nampak tak? Your denominator, 1 tu cos square, another one ialah sin square. So to gabungkan, what you got to do is, this one here, you multiply dengan cos square. Atas pun multiply dengan cos square. On the other side, you multiply with sine square. This one also multiply with sine square. Okay? This is the correct way to gabungkan pecahan. So when you multiply dengan sine square sebelah kiri dan cos square sebelah kanan, what happens now is you will get sine square theta over, this one here is sine square theta, cos square theta, tambah dengan cos square theta, and this is sine square theta, cos square theta. Okay, nampak? Dah sama. Dia punya penyebut dah sama. So two fractions, same denominator. When the two fraction contain same denominator, then you can combine. So when I combine these two, bila kita gabungkan, okay, you will just get one fraction. You akan dapat one fraction. And dia punya penyebut denominator dia ialah sine square theta, cos square theta. But the top part, you have got sine square and then plus cos square. So here we write sine square plus cos square. Okay, then you check and see what else can you do. Apa lagi yang kita boleh buat? Okay, now when you do proving, right, if you make a mistake somewhere, don't try to trace back. Padam and redo. Because you want to trace back, you're going to get yourself into a bigger mess. Okay, so sine square plus cos square. That's why you also have, it's good if you can remember the formula. Because if you remember the formula, then you know sine square plus cos square. Nampak? Sine square plus cos square equal to 1. Okay, sine square plus cos square is equal to 1. So if I know that, I can straight ganti. Okay, so now going back here, that means atas ialah 1. Bawah dia sine square theta and then cos square theta. This whole thing is 1. Boleh faham? Okay, but check answer. Jawapan yang dia nak ialah secant square dengan cosecant square. So far, you have bawah dia sine square and cos square. So now it's time to bring it up. What do I mean? Well, you faham tak? This part here sebenarnya, okay, bahagian yang ni sebenarnya serupa dengan 1 over sine square times with 1 over cos square. Okay, because when you multiply, bila kita darab, atas dengan atas, bawah dengan bawah. So if you understand that, sebenarnya you tak payah nak separate. I'm just explaining to you, okay? So it's basically 1 over sine square on one side, and the other side ialah 1 over cos square. So using what you understand, 1 over sine square ditukar. So 1 over sine square becomes cosec square. 1 over cos square becomes secant square, and that's done. Okay, you can refer to your formula here, nampak tak? 1 over cos becomes secant, 1 over sine becomes cosecant. So which means now we terbalikkan. So we terbalikkan, you dapat yang ni. Okay, so again, it's because it's 1 over sine square, one side, and the other side is 1 over cos square. The one in green, you do not need to show. Okay, the one in black and the one in yellow, you have to show. Okay, that's part of your working. So when you do your proving, right, the steps are supposed to be short. If your steps panjang until, you know, half A4 page or 1 A4 page, right, then something is wrong. Okay, but when you do your exercise in your buku text, sometimes, right, the questions are long. Yang tu not practical. In your exams, they won't give you such long questions. It's not practical. Okay, that one only for practice question ataupun latihan saja. Okay, all right. So let's check and see. Boleh faham tak yang ni? Faham? Okay. So again, I'm going to continue. Whatever you don't understand, please let me know. Alamak, seriously? Somebody said she could not concentrate because there's a cockroach flying on her back. Aduh. Cockroach flying on your back. Awesome. So you MCO terperap dekat rumah dengan lipas. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Let me explain one more time for this part. Okay, let me explain one more time. Okay, after that I'm going to move on to the next part. Okay, all right. So, where was I? Yes. So from the start, pertama sekali, secant square I tukar jadi 1 over cos square. Cosec square tukar jadi 1 over sine square. So when you do that, kita dapat dua pecahan. Okay, kenapa ada benda yang ni? This one is to samakan dia punya penyebut. Because two fraction you kena gabungkan. When you combine two fraction become 1, okay, you're going to multiply dengan denominator dia. Then I get this. Okay, the second line. Denominator dah sama, same denominator, gabung. So atas dia sine square plus cos square. Pakai formula, sine square plus cos square tukar jadi 1. And then yang sine square you bring up. The cos square also you bring up. Because remember, 1 over sine square sebelah kiri, 1 over cos square sebelah kanan. So pakai formula 1 over sine square is cosec square and 1 over cos square is secant square. So you bring it up and then you get your answer. Okay, so you have to experiment. Okay, don't be afraid to get wrong. In the first few times you try by yourself, you might get it wrong. But you try, you practice. Okay, you got to practice, then you understand. Because pelajar kena cuba dengan sendiri. You have to apply your formula, then you can see what's going on. Okay, all right. So now, moving on. Next part. Okay, let's look at this question pula. Okay, I'm going to do part by part. As I said, I don't want to rush because I want you to understand fully what we are going or what we are doing, the process that's going through. So guys, I harap you already understand this formula here because I'm not going to refer back and forth to the formula. Okay, so please refer to the formula. I'm only going to refer back to this formula here if you need to, because this formula is given. The given formula, you have to refer to it. The formula yang ni, which is not given, that one you have to memorize. So tolong understand. Yang ni you orang kena hafal. Okay, so moving on to the next question. Okay, dia bagi tangent theta plus cot theta. So again, start from your, do we have to write, okay, somebody asked me this, do we have to write left hand side sama dengan right hand side? Sebenarnya tak payah. In your textbook atau buku teks dia nampak kan, sebelah kiri sama dengan right hand side, proven, all that is just formality. Okay, you want to write, go ahead. Okay, the textbook just does it. Okay, so long as you can get the answer and your steps are there correct, it's fine. It's just formality. Okay, you nak tulis terbukti, tulislah. Okay, so for example here, you got your answer kan, because you see in your textbook here, they also write left hand side equal to right hand side and then comma proven, terbukti. Yang tu you nak tambah, you tambah, doesn't matter. Because so long as you get that, that's fine. Okay, that's already proven. Okay, so now moving on to this question here. So again, dia bagi tangent, dia bagi cot. Soalan dia second dengan, jawapan dia ialah second dengan cosec. So once again, mula dari sebelah kiri, starting from the left hand side. So left hand side now, I have tangent theta plus cot theta. Okay, so you got to think, what can you do? What are you able to do? So like just now, you said nampak tak, when the operasi dah tambah tolak, okay, we want to try and gabungkan. So just now when we try to gabungkan, nampak tak, we get two fraction, which we then gabungkan become one fraction. Okay, so basically what we are going to do here also same. Okay, we are also going to do the same thing. So check with yourself, check with what you know about the formula. Okay, what I know is, I know cot can change. Okay, yang cot boleh tukar. I can change the cot. Okay, now what do I mean by change the cot? Well, from here, okay, I notice that this one here is, maybe you do it this way, okay? Or maybe even tangent pun boleh tukar. You see, when you refer to this formula, nampak tak? Tangent equal to sine over cos. Cot equal to cos over sine, kan? Okay, so I can change those two, okay? Because we want second, we want cosec. If you remember, second datangnya dari 1 over cosec, 1 over cos, and cosec datangnya dari 1 over sine. So I tukar supaya kita boleh padankan kemudian. Okay, so tangent becomes sine over cos tambah dengan cot becomes cos over sine. Okay, we change it. So tangent tukar, cot tukar. Just tangent dan cot is upside down. Okay, so once again nampak tak, you got two fraction. Terdapat dua pecahan. So because now you got two fraction, you combine become one single fraction. But of course to do that, you have to multiply dengan dia punya denominator, dengan dia punya penyebut. That means this one you multiply dengan cos, yang ni pun multiply dengan cos. This one you multiply dengan sine, and this one you multiply dengan sine. Okay, so that denominator sama, then you can combine. Okay, so if you already understand the steps, right, you can do certain shortcut which is accepted. Maksudnya, I already know when I multiply cos sine and sine cos, they become the same thing. So without wasting your time, you just combine straight, become one fraction. Okay, bawah dia, you can write sine theta, cos theta. Kalau terbalik pun doesn't matter. Contohnya 5 times 2 and 2 times 5, benda sama kan? So you nak tulis sine cos, or you want to write cos dengan sine, pun no problem. Okay, somebody say you got the answer, very good. Okay, but remember, you have to learn the techniques. Once you understand, it becomes very clear to you. Sine times sine. Sine times sine becomes sine square. Plus cos times cos become cos square. It's sine square and cos square. Bukannya sine theta square. Salah. Okay. Sine square and cos square when you multiply. Sine dengan sine and cos dengan cos. So I think by now you already understand. Sine square plus cos square tukar jadi satu. Refer to your formula. So this is 1 over sine theta and cos theta, correct? But they want second, they want cosecond. No problem. Like just now, you see that 1 over sine and cos, right? So sebelah kiri is 1 over sine. Sebelah kanan, 1 over cos. So 1 over sine, it becomes cosec. 1 over cos becomes sec. And that's done. Okay? Then you check. Make sure it's same as what they want. Okay? Yeah. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 lines. Okay? 4 lines. It's not very long. Okay? If your working is very, very long, something is wrong there. Okay? So again, always go back to what you already know. The given formula and the one that is not given, which you are supposed to memorize by yourself. Okay? The ones that you are supposed to memorize by yourself. Okay? Get it? So I think this question number 2, you orang boleh fahamkan, guys? Boleh faham tak the number 2 question? I think yang tu agak mudah kan, because yang tu sebenarnya it carries on from the earlier question. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So again,
Yes.
if you do not understand, if you tak faham, tolong tanya. Either you unmute yourself and ask me, or you can ask in the chat box. Okay. All right. So let's continue. Question 3. Yes. Okay. Question number 3. Sean says question number 3. So right. So let's see now. Question number 3. I tell you what. What about this one? This one can do? I think sound quite simple, right? Can. Okay. So I think the C I will tinggalkan. Sebenarnya C ni ganti the formula. Second square you ganti, cosec square ganti, done. Finish. Yang ni actually very simple. It's just 1, 2 lines. Dah siap. Okay. All right. Fine. Then I'll move on to this one. Then. Question number 3. Okay. Right. Now, why is it some of you who try doing question number 3, kenapa you orang tersangkut? Very simple. Very, very simple. Okay. Let me explain one thing. Remember earlier I told you, sebahagian formula yang you orang kena tahu ialah yang ni. Okay. The one in the box. I also told you, you have to remember this formula. Okay. X squared minus y squared equal to x plus y, one bracket, and then x minus y, another bracket. Okay. You know this, right? Okay, but what you also have to know is that this formula can be extended. Okay, so let me repeat. You see, if x squared minus y squared equal to x plus y and x minus y, we can also say this is true for x power 4 minus y power 4. Boleh faham? Y power 4. The power number must be even power number. It must be genap. So in that case, you will get x squared plus y square and x square minus y square. Boleh faham? Remember this, because this formula can be used for other chapters as well. I've seen questions where they use this formula untuk progression. Okay, they can use it for other questions as well. So not only x square, y square, it can be x power 4 and y power 4. It can also be x power 6 minus y power 6. So which means you get x3 plus y3. And the other one ialah x3 minus y3. Boleh faham? Semua yang genap. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Understand? Are you clear? Okay, I'll just go one more to make sure you faham. Kalau dibagi x power 8 minus y power 8, then you akan dapat x power 4 plus y power 4, x power 4 minus y power 4. Boleh faham? Okay, so please try and understand this formula. So once you understand this formula, you can apply direct. So going back to our question number 3 just now, nampak tak? Okay, you are starting here with sine power 4 theta minus cos power 4 theta. So setiap satu power 4. So kalau power 4, that means when you pakai the formula and you factorize, you akan dapat 2 bracket. So one bracket will be sine square theta plus cos square theta, and then the other bracket will be sine square theta minus cos square theta. Okay, one bracket plus, one bracket minus. They all contain square because power 4 pecah become power 2, power 2, power 2, power 2. And you already know sebenarnya, bukankah sine square plus cos square sama dengan 1? So 1 multiply with the bracket, tinggal bracket saja, 1 dah hilang. So yang ni straight sama dengan sine square theta minus cos square theta, and that's done. That's all. Okay. So these are some useful hints for you all to remember. Because when you do proving, right, it's not about using the formula. It's about the technique. Formula dibagi. Formula is no problem. So it's about a technique. That means what you need to know. So as I said, okay, I repeat. When you pakai the formula, sometimes you have to evaluate, menilai. Contohnya, lihat apa jawapan yang dia nak. We try to padankan the soalan dan tukar become the jawapan. That's number one. Number two, kalau ada pecahan tunggal, one single fraction, then you have to separate. Number three, if two fractions, then you want to combine. Okay? And then number four, you have to also be prepared to use basic formula, which I've learned earlier, like this one here. X square minus Y square, X power 4 minus Y power 4, and so on and so forth. Okay? Penggunaan formula asas yang you orang belajar. Okay? So sebenarnya you orang dah belajar formula yang ni, but now we take it to the next level up to all this. Sebenarnya it's the same formula. Okay? Can do from the right side, you can. But my advice is we always do from the left side because it's easier to go from big become small. From small to become big is much harder. Okay, to make from small to become big is much harder. It's always easier to go from big to become small because it's easy to hilangkan and simplify rather than to tambah and become bigger. That's why you always do from kiri ke kanan, from left to right. Understand this? Okay, from the left hand side to the right hand side. Okay, so what other things do we have here? All right, now let's move on. Next one. Okay, I think, okay, I won't have so much time now, so can you show the whole thing because I want to take screenshot, whole thing. Whole thing meaning what? Yeah. Whole thing. Do you mean like this whole thing? Of course not, right? Okay, is that all right? Okay, I've got no idea. The whiteboard, yeah, okay, the whiteboard is there. All right, that's the whiteboard. Okay, so again, go through your questions, try and figure out, okay? All right, okay. You're welcome. I've got no idea who you are, only got number 77169. Nama tak ada. Okay, all right. Now, let's move on, okay? Let's sambung. So the next one here, okay, on the next page, you've got question number 4, and so on and so forth, okay? But I will need to pick out some questions because I think whatever that I can't finish, I'll do with you all next week, okay? Question number 4, okay. Liting's number 4. Okay, question number 4. Okay, question number 4. All right, so again, can you see not yang sebelah kiri is very big because ada banyak benda. The jawapan is very, very simplified, dah dipermudahkan. So of course, I will start from kiri dan dapatkan jawapan di kanan. Okay, so starting from the left-hand side, bermula dari sebelah kiri. So now we have cosec theta plus secant theta, bawah sini cot theta plus tangent theta. Okay, and then of course there's a line because this is a fraction. So how do I change this equal to? Okay, so let me ask you, okay, how do I change it? Somebody asked me, what's the difference between cot and cot? Oh, the difference is that, okay, somebody asked me this. What is the difference between cot theta equal to 1 over tangent theta? And what is the difference between cot theta equal to cos theta over sin theta? Sebenarnya, these two are the same. It's just that, okay, on one hand, we have cos and sine. On the other hand, we have it in terms of tangent. Sebenarnya benda yang sama. It's just what you get as a result. Okay, that's all. And why are there two different things? Because again, it is to suit what you want to do. Okay, it's basically, you see, when you do proving, right, it's like a puzzle. You just pick apa yang sesuai untuk digunakan pada bahagian tersebut sahaja. You don't simply menghantam everything. If you simply ganti whatever you want, you're not going to get the answer yang betul. Okay, so question number 4 here. Some of you might say, oh, yang ni nampak complicated because you know why? There is cosec, there is secant, there is cot, there is tangent. Okay, tapi sebenarnya tak susah. Okay, all you have to understand is nampak, the clue lies in the answer. Jawapan dia ialah cos and sine. Now, if you know your formula, which you should not, because yang ni ialah sebahagian formula yang dia tak bagi. So you think about it. Do you see not? I can change cosec, I can change secant, I can change cot, I can change tangent. Okay, I can change everything. Okay, semuanya boleh ditukar. It's going to be a bit long lah. but sebenarnya we can change. Okay, so let me show you. So first, okay, I'm going to draw the fraction line because yang ni atas dengan bawah kan. So on the top part here, cosec. Okay, so cosec from the formula that you're supposed to memorize, cosec is equal to 1 over sine plus. Second is 1 over cos. At the bottom, cot. Cot is cos over sine. Tangent is sine over cos. Okay? Each one I change. Now, if you're wondering why I change everything, simple. Because answer they want, okay, the answer they want is just cos and sine. So when I change, nampak tak? Setiap bahagian now mengandungi sama ada sine, cos ataupun both. You understand this? Okay? I change it. So second can become 1 over sine. I change it. Second become 1 over cos, sorry. Okay, I change it. Cosec becomes 1 over sine. Cot also can tukar. Tangent pun boleh tukar. So when you tukar now, semua unsur dia mengandungi sama ada sine atau cos atau kedua-duanya sekali. Okay? So can you see now on top here you got fraction. On top you got fraction. So two fraction you already know you can combine. You have to gabungkan become 1. Okay? But penyebut tak sama. So from what you've learned just now, okay, for the top part here, this part here you're going to multiply dengan sin theta, yang ni pun multiply dengan sin theta. This one you multiply dengan cos, yang ni you multiply dengan cos. Untuk samakan dia punya penyebut. Yang bawah pula, this one here, nampak tak? This one you multiply dengan sin, this one you multiply dengan sin, yang ni multiply dengan cos, and yang ni multiply dengan cos. Okay? To samakan dia punya penyebut. So now if I multiply, don't forget, I still need to draw the long line because we still have this fraction. Okay, wait, hang on. Let me draw it lower. Okay, I still got this fraction. Nampak? Okay, I still got a fraction. So on the top part here, okay, what we have now is we have cos theta plus sin theta over sin theta cos theta. Okay, I straight combine because sin times cos and cos times sin become penyebut sama. So atas dia ialah cos plus sin. Okay, bawah dia, okay, cos dengan cos becomes cos square theta tambah dengan sin square theta, and then here also you have sin theta and cos theta, correct? You see that? Okay, because you got one fraction on top and one more at the bottom. So the bottom one ialah cos dengan cos become cos square. Sin dengan sin become sin square. Okay, and then you can do this. Potong, potong. Penyebut atas dengan penyebut bawah potong. That one is, remember the formula diterbalikkan? Is the formula yang diterbalikkan because bahagi pecahan tukar upside down. So sin theta dengan cos theta potong dekat penyebut. So when you potong dengan penyebut, oh there's some more. Don't forget, sin square plus cos square equal to 1, right? Sin square plus cos square equal to 1. So sin theta, cos theta, atas bawah dah potong. Sin square plus cos square tukar jadi 1. So that means now what you have here is just equal to cos theta plus sin theta. Understand? Okay, 1, 2, 3 lines. You understand? 3 lines. Okay, so if you know how to use your formula effectively, your steps can be shorter. It's not about, you know, the longer the steps, the better. No, the longer the steps, the more confused you get. Yes. 2 of you raise your hand. Who raised your hands? It just says 2 participants raise hands. Anybody got a question? 2 orang angkat tangan at the same time. Yes, apa dia? I can't see who are the names. They just say here 2 participants. So I do not know who raised the hands. Okay. Boleh faham tak? If you got a question, tolong tanya in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself and ask me. Okay. So let me just check in with you guys. Some of you are very, very shy. Maybe you takut people to hear your voice. So the number 4 boleh faham tak, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So again, the point is you always check and see soalan dengan jawapan. Okay. You check the answer. Okay. And then you try and match padankan. Okay. Sometimes if you can't get, don't try to backtrack. Just padam and go through again. Remember the basic techniques I've shown you. Oh, the 2 yang angkat tangan ialah Nur Siti Fatimah dengan Suganten. Okay. So please understand that you go through the step I told you all. Okay, you need some practice, then you can understand. Okay, Sean, number 6. Okay, fine. Question number 6. Okay, Question number 6. Somebody say apa potong? Kembang and potong. Kembang, what you want to kembang or? Okay. Okay. Sushen, what you want to kembang? Potong yang mana? Okay. Number 4, I know where you want to potong. Mana boleh kembang? Cannot kembangkan mah. There's no bracket to kembangkan. Cos square, where is it? This one ah. This one already cos square mah. Why you want to kembangkan? Formulas already tell you mah. Cos square is equal, cos square plus sin square equal to 1. Pakai the formula direct. Don't factorize already. Just pakai the formula. That's why you have the formula. The formula is cos square plus sin square equal to 1. Refer to the formula. Rujuk formula. You want to do things straight to the point. You don't want to panjangkan the working. Faham tak? Okay. So again, menggunakan formula dengan sesuai. Use it appropriately. Okay. Question number 6. Okay. I'm assuming that you are asking me to do all the soalan yang nampak susah. Okay, fine. I'll do question number 6. Okay. Okay, question number 6. What do we have here? Okay, so all right, you nampak tak there's a cos and cosec, sine and secant, and then jawapan yang dia nak ialah cosec dengan secant. There's a plus there. So yang sebelah kiri dia panjang, very big. So I start from the left hand side. Cos theta, cosec theta, plus with sine theta, secant theta. Okay, so again, you check yourself, check with yourself, what can you do? Okay, so what I can do is this, because you see, I want to start with the formula, but basic formula, I can't pakai, because the basic formula got sine square, cos square, tangent square, and whatever not, kan, or secant square or cosec square, but don't have. So the only thing I can do here is, I can change this, I can change this. Okay, you always start with what is possible. I can't use the basic identity because basic identity got secant square, cosecant square. But now I can do the cosec, I can do the secant. So I change. Now don't forget, yang ni, cosec is 1 over sine. Secant is 1 over cos, correct? So when I ganti, when I replace here, okay, I'm straight away going to do this. I'm straight away going to do cos over sine. Sebab cos atas. Cosec is 1 over sine. So sine di bawah. So sine is down, cos dekat atas. Faham tak? And then tambah dengan next one becomes sine theta over cos theta. Okay, again disebabkan secant is 1 over cos. So 1 over cos maksudnya cos di bawah. Atas tu sine. So once again, you see we encounter a similar problem. Okay, dua pecahan yang berlainan kan. So two fractions you combine become 1. So when I combine become 1, that means here, yang ni I must multiply dengan sin theta, atas dan bawah, sin theta. Over here, multiply with cos. Yang over here also multiply dengan cos. Okay, we combine become 1 fraction. So once I do that, again, you do not need to do so many long unnecessary steps. You already understand when you combine, it becomes 1 fraction. So because it becomes 1 fraction here, okay, it becomes 1 fraction here. So I draw one long line. Okay, and then after that, atas yang ni ialah cos square theta plus sin square theta. Cos times cos, cos square. Sin times sin, sin square. Bawah dia, I can choose to write either sin theta, cos theta. As I said, the balik pun doesn't matter. Now you already know, cos square plus sin square kan, again, this whole thing here, tukar jadi 1, right? So when that happens, I now get 1 over sin theta and cos theta. Bring up. You already know from before we have done a few like this. 1 sebelah kiri, 1 sebelah kanan. So 1 over sine, okay, 1 over sine you bring up becomes cosec theta. 1 over cos becomes sec theta. And that's it, done. Okay, that's it. So again, go through the basic formula that you already know, the basic identity. Okay, go through your basic identity. Then you understand how it's done. Okay, so again, you're gonna try, you're gonna chuba. Okay, always start with the most obvious. Start with the most obvious. So basically, pelajar you need to learn how to evaluate what is the steps necessary. Apakah langkah pertama, langkah kedua, langkah ketiga. Check and see what they give you, apa yang dia bagi. Check and see apakah jawapan yang dia nak. What are the options that you can do? Doesn't mean that every time kita pakai formula yang sama saja. You kena belajar menilai. But again, as I said, simple techniques are useful for you. Contohnya pecahan, kalau berasingan, you gabung. Kalau satu pecahan, you separate. Okay. Pemfaktoran, that one also you kena pakai. Understand this? Okay. All right. Okay, are you guys all right?
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay, so I hope you guys can understand. Yes, somebody asked me for question number 8. Okay, number 8, nombor 8. Okay, I know why you're asking me all this question, because when you try, your working become either very long or you get stuck. Okay, never mind, I'll continue, okay? Your class supposed to end at 4, what time? 4:15, right? At least we still got time. Okay, I'll just continue. Maybe I'll go a little bit longer. My next class at 4:30. Okay, right. Let's sambung. Okay, as long as I got time, I can continue with you. No problem. Okay, so nombor 8. Nombor 8. Okay. There you go. Okay. Actually, nombor 8, the langkah, I already explained to you. Nampak tak? Here you have 2/1 plus cos theta, plus with 2/1 minus cos theta. What do you see? What do you see? Kan? Okay, yeah. I know. I also got class at 4:30, so I have to end before 4:30. Don't worry. Okay, I got a Form 4 class after this, because now Mr. Loh is having the Form 4 class. Then after we switch around. Okay, because I pay Mr. Loh. All right, so anyway, nampak tak? 2 fraction, 2 pecahan. I already told you from the beginning, right? You evaluate first. So in this case here, what I see is I got 2 fraction. If I got 2 fraction, I can combine become 1 fraction, kan? 2 pecahan, combine become 1. But this time to combine it, because 1 fraction is 1 plus cos, another one is 1 minus cos. So which means, right, this one will be 1 plus cos theta, 1 plus cos theta. This one is 1 minus cos theta and 1 minus cos theta. Okay? To combine, become 1 single fraction. So which means now, okay, let's see, I write at the bottom here lah. So yang ni lah, when you multiply here on top and the bottom, so this is 2 minus 2 cos theta, okay, straight multiply. Tambah dengan yang ni ialah 2 plus 2 cos theta. Now, you found that at the bottom, do you not realize here, when you multiply, you will see that you have 1 bracket plus 1 bracket minus, kan? Yang ni pun sama, 1 bracket plus 1 bracket minus. So we can straight apply the formula. Kalau 2 kurungan, when you multiply, 1 is plus, 1 is minus, that means square yang sebelah kiri and square yang sebelah kanan. So maksudnya yang sebelah kiri ialah 1. So 1 become 1 square, so 1 square ialah 1. Tolak. The cos also is square, so it becomes cos square. What I'm saying is that you are applying this formula. X square minus y square equal to x plus y and x minus y, right? Okay, 1 bracket plus, 1 bracket minus. So I just straight away square. You do not need to physically show everything. Okay, all right. So now I continue here. Okay, what do I get? So on top here, what I have here is I've got here 2 and then plus 2. So 2 plus 2 become 4, right? Okay. Negative 2 cos theta plus 2 cos theta becomes 0. Dah hilang. Okay. So that means now here I got 4. Bottom, what do I get? 1 minus cos square. Now remember your basic identity formula, sine square plus cos square equal to 1. But if I susun semula, can you see or not that here, sine square is equal to 1 minus cos square? So the 1 minus cos square, I now ganti dengan sine square. Okay, 1 minus cos square ganti dengan 1 minus sine square. Ganti dengan sine square. Then you bring up. Okay, so you bring up because they want cosec. Of course lah, because 1 over sine becomes cosec. So 1 over sine square, so the 4, and then cosec square theta. Understand? Okay, you're working, the steps should be short. It should be painted. It should not be very long. If your steps are very long, that means something is wrong. Okay, guys, boleh faham? Okay. Number 5. Liting, I have to continue later because some of you guys have got your physics class after this. I also got a Form 4 class. So I tell you what, okay. Sebenarnya there's some more I want to do with you all because at the back here, I've got some more. Yang ni. This one a bit harder. Hang on, I didn't show you. Okay, this one. This one is a bit harder. Okay, so maksudnya next week I'm going to continue. So next week I'm going to continue with here, and you can tell me whichever one that you orang try but you can't find your answer. Okay, you can tell me whichever one that you have done and you can't find answer. Maksudnya number 5 not done, number 7 and number 9 not done. So you try that. Okay, and then after that, let's see. Okay, I'm going to continue with this same set next week. Okay. Aliyah asked me this: why sine square turns to cosec square? Well, Aliyah, it's not sine square turn to cosec square. You faham tak? This one here sebenarnya ialah 4 multiplied with 1 over sine square. Faham? The sine square dekat bawah. So sine square dekat bawah maksudnya 1 over sine square. Bukankah 1 over sine square become cosec square? Boleh faham? Okay. Understand? You have to know how it's separated. So 4 dekat atas, sine square dekat bawah. So because sine square dekat bawah is basically 1 over sine square. Understand? So you have to learn to adjust. So that's why I say it can be a bit tricky for you because you know why? This is basically new to many of you. So again, you're going to try to pakai the formula. That's why I don't want to go too fast. I can go too fast. I can go fast, but no point. You tak boleh faham. Okay? So okay, I will stop until here. Okay? Then next week, we are going to move on with this same set, but I'm going to do some harder ones because trigonometry ni ada banyak formula. So I need to introduce to you some of the formula. The formula I've already given you in this set. Look at the last page. Answers are the formulas there. Of course, there are no answers because proving, right, the soalan and the jawapan ialah sama. It's given there. Okay, so try and then I'll discuss some more next week. And next week, maybe because I'm going to do this, I'll give you an introduction to basic trigonometry, counting angles.